Hey guys, so I'm starting my mini chocolate chip cheesecakes. These are paleo. They do have dairy, so just be aware if you don't tolerate dairy very well, but both Adam and I do, so these are one of our favorites. They are super easy to make and they're really good. We actually served them at a Super Bowl party once and they were a hit, if you can believe that. So I've got all of my ingredients laid out right here. And I'm going to give you guys an aerial view so you can check out what I'm doing. If you like the video, I'm thinking about doing this once a week and just doing a paleo recipe every single day, every single Saturday. If you have a day you prefer, if there's some recipes you want to see, definitely leave it in the comments below. Like and share the video with your friends if you want to see more, and hopefully I will see you again. So here we go. I'm going to give you guys an aerial view. There you go. Alright, so to start out, I've got 2 packages of cream cheese. They've been softening a little bit here, but I am going to go ahead and pop them in the microwave for just a few seconds to get them fully softened so they're just easier to mix with the other ingredients. There's one. Now when I did the photos for this recipe, I also just added a chocolate topping. That's also really good. Sometimes I feel like it's a little too much chocolate, if there's such a thing. So I will just be doing these plain. And I actually baked some beforehand, so you guys don't have to sit here while they're baking for 20 minutes to see what they look like when they're done. So, got those in my silicone bowl. And I'm just going to pop those in there for about 30 seconds. And that was the oven. I went ahead and preheated it to 350 degrees. So, the oven, it's pretty quick to preheat, but I like to do it ahead of time, again, so you guys don't have to wait for me. Now you can see here I've also got 2 eggs. This is my homemade vanilla extract. These are just Madagascar vanilla beans that I ordered offline, cut them open, and soaked them in vodka after microwaving the vodka for 30 seconds. So it's really easy to make homemade vanilla, and it's really worth it. Okay, so let's see. So cream cheese is a little bit softer now. There we go. So next, you can throw in the 2 eggs. There we go. Alright, and 1 tablespoon of the vanilla extract. And then we need a whole ½ cup of sour cream. There we go. Alright, and then we also need a ½ cup of sweetener. Now I'm using a stevia and erythritol blend by Natural Mate that's twice as sweet as any other sweetener. So I'm actually going to just be using a ¼ cup. Oops, let me grab that. But if you're using any other sweetener that measures 1:1 with sugar, then you're going to want a whole ½ cup. There we go. And I really like this blend. I've talked about it before in some of my videos, but the stevia and erythritol blend, it takes away the bitterness that you get with stevia, and it takes away kind of that menthol effect that you get with erythritol. So I really recommend it. Again, the brand I'm using is Natural Mate. Okay, So we got most of our ingredients. We're going to add the chocolate chips after we blend it. Now I'm going to blend it really well with my immersion blender. And cream cheese is always kind of interesting to blend, which is why I really recommend softening it first. Okay, so you can see it's starting to get kind of glossy and smooth. You definitely don't want any bumps in this. So I'm going to keep going for a minute just to make sure it's all nice and smooth. Looks good. Get off the extra here. Yep. Alright, and then you're also going to want about a ½ cup of chocolate chips. So I'm just going to pour the chocolate chips in the same thing I used the sour cream for. And I'm going to do a really messy job. Hopefully my dog does not come and eat the chocolate chips. When I was experimenting with these, I actually did 3/4 cups of chocolate chips, and that was just a little bit too much. So if you really like chocolate chips, that's probably fine. If you are more like me and you just like them, then ½ cup is plenty. Yep, and here comes Lily, if you can see her, to scope out chocolate chips that I have dropped. Luckily, I don't think she's found any. Get those all stirred in. All right. Now hold on, let me pull out my pan and my muffin cups. I like to use these little silicone muffin cups. I think it's a little bit easier to get the muffin out. I guess in this case, the cheesecake. And plus they're reusable. Just pop them in the dishwasher and there you go. Alright, let me see here. Last time I had a bit of extra batter, so there you go. Alright, let's see if I can pour this smoothly. Always question. Now, these aren't going to rise too much, whoops, so you can fill them up pretty full. Absolutely love these little these little bowls. They're actually weighted on the bottom so they don't tip over while I'm stirring or anything, but they're really easy to pour. I also use them if I'm microwaving any frozen vegetables, because then I can just strain the water out by squeezing it. Just makes life a little bit easier. Used to have metal bowls and they annoyed me because I couldn't put them in the microwave. Oops, that one's messy. Alright, and it looks like I'm going to have just enough muffin cups. I've got some other ones over here, but they're really tiny, so I don't want to make a bunch of different sized muffins. Oh, got one extra. Alright. That's cool. Take a little bit out of one of these big ones here and add it to this one. Maybe smooth it down a little bit. Just to even them out so they bake a little more evenly. All right, there we go. Now the oven is preheated to 350 degrees. I'm going to slide those in there. And I'm putting them on the middle rack. All right, pull this down. All right, so you can see that was really easy. It's one of my favorite recipes. Now, like I said, I did make some earlier, so I'm going to grab a couple to show you. It's not the most beautiful presentation with the plate, but there you go. So you can see this was with the 3/4 cups of chocolate chips. So you can see it's pretty chocolate chip heavy. And then this is one that I actually poured chocolate on. There's a little swirl. And let me grab a knife and I'll cut it in half so you can see how many chocolate chips are in there. You can decide if you want to use half a cup like me. There you go. See, so that was quite a bit of chocolate chips. And they all do tend to sink to the bottom. And also, if you can notice, this one did collapse. That's pretty normal. Most of mine do. And then you can also see they're nice and golden brown on the top in a couple places. That's really good. I just think shows it's done. Has a nice little bit of color to it. Now, you're also going to want to refrigerate these for about 2 to 3 hours after they come out of the oven. And then they'll be ready to serve. They do keep well. So you can keep them in the fridge in like a Tupperware container. All right. So that is my mini chocolate chip cheesecake recipe. Like I said, it is paleo, it's not dairy free, but it is also sugar free. I find that stevia and erythritol work really well for us, so I do use that in a lot of my recipes. If you've enjoyed this and you would like to see more, do comment, let me know what you think, and share it with your friends if you think they'd be interested, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.